And I used to think something was wrong with me because what I do know, the people that run the world, the billionaires, they have this information. Like they're making things off of transits that's happening in the sky. They're starting businesses on the 8th, 17th or 26th or 28th. They selling products with 8 vibration. Like it's deep, right? So when you start getting into like the root of life and the root of your soul and not the branch, because everybody wants the branch. Or what car you got? Who you date? How many followers you got? No, what's in your soul? The people we look up to, they have something that's in their soul that they might not even know that's making them who they are.
Can't be contained.
That's what I'm talking about. Dude, I'm so excited to talk to you. I love anyone who like preaches about miracles. I'm so in that. I like one of my viewpoints of life is just through the lens of miracles. And I think, some people are like, oh, Sam's always got her rosy colored glasses on. And I'm like, yeah, that's because there's freaking magic everywhere, guys. There's miracles everywhere. And so when you talk about like it's miracle season, tell me what you mean.
It's a lot of things. I mean, where do you want to start? You want to start where it started or just in general? Because it's so much, but just enough. So miracle season is metamorphosis for transformation. Everybody want a miracle, but they don't want the season, right? Like everybody want the view of the miracle, but they don't want to climb the mountain of their season. So 2017, when I channeled It's Miracle Season through my
Hmm.
gut, I was actually on a TV show and I said it's miracle season. That's when that phrase was born, right?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was in a trailer, CBS Rapid Studios here in Los Angeles. I was in the studio with a producer, and I'm like, man, it's miracle season, miracle. He's like, damn, my boy, I think you should say that on when you get out there. But you know how you have a plan to do something and then it doesn't work, but everything I thought about in that moment, I said on stage, and like the crowd,
Yeah.
crazy. You thought I had a game winning shot. So what that was for me in that moment was a foreshadow. I didn't know
Right.
it was about to happen.
Right.
Make a long story short, I was on TV for 10 weeks. Was on a Bachelorette. And
You're on a Bachelorette?
yes, so I got the
I
miracle.
I have so
When
many questions.
I got the miracle on that season, but I went through so much hell and contrast and challenge and change. So before I even went on, I was already calling the miracle in, but I didn't know what I was going to have to grow through or metamorphosis, change, transform
Mm,
to. And then
mm,
when I got out, all my dreams came true. All the miracles.
mm,
I got a podcast. I started writing books. I started traveling to make money off of speaking, brand deals, more TV shows. I'm like, oh my God, like this is amazing. And then as I evolved as a human, I more was getting in touch with the frequency of miracle season. What is this about? What is it about? Okay,
mm.
my 30-second elevator pitch. Oh, it's a transformation. It's change your life, mind, body, spirit. Boom, boom. Great, great. And so I want to say this story because I think it's important for what I'm about to tell you. So last year, 2023, I had a lot of contrasts. Went through a lot of suffering,
Mm.
heartbreak, pain, and it didn't make sense. I was going through dark night of the soul, ego death. You know,
Right.
all the stuff I thought I should get or have, but I felt empty. So my world was shaking up. Thank God for my cousin Dante Young, D Young Show on Instagram. He's a comedian. Um,
Hmm.
he's like, man, it's miracle season, cuz like you have it's like $1 million brand. Like it's so amazing. I love it. He probably is gonna get mad if I share the story, but anyway, I'm gonna say it because he called me one day and he had one of my hoodies on, and he's like, man, I'm telling you, cuz man, that miracle season is something different. He's like, your energy is incredible. He's like, your energy is so good, it's healing, and I can feel it when I wear the hoodies. And he started to cry, and I'm just like, whoa, like, what's going
Hmm.
on? He's like, man, no one will ever tell you this, but most people don't want you to see your power. They don't want you to see your power. I'm like, man, what is he saying? And like, mind you, he's in tears. Like, this is a strong,
Yeah. Yeah.
driven, successful, man. Like, I look up to him. He's like 10, 12 years older than me. So when people give me information, my challenge in my entire life, I didn't get feedback growing up, good or bad. So I don't even know how to process feedback
Oh, interesting.
because I didn't get it. So I'm so
Mm.
good at giving it, right? Everything I didn't get, I became. Anyway, boom. So I was like, I ain't crying. And, I was like, I appreciate you saying it. Thank you. Okay. Fast forward 3 months. I go to Machu Picchu. I go to Peru. I hike Machu Picchu. I do plant medicine, and one day it's my first time ever doing plant medicine. I sat with Wachuma on the grandfather medicine, and as I'm taking it, of course, open as a heart opener. I was crying. But
Mm.
only in my journey, like my solar plexus was getting hit. Like it was
Yeah.
crazy. Like I was getting
Yeah.
activated. Like, well, I'm like, whoa, like I'm like a Power Ranger or something, right? But honestly, I had my Miracle Season hoodie, and which is so odd, right? Now that I think about it. So I'm just talking about like it's like I was doing ad workout, but I was laying
Mm.
on the sofa and outside in the the garden that we're in. And I'm just like, and then like the spirit, the grandfather medicine was telling me like, yes, miracle season is a frequency. It's a healing frequency.
Mm.
It
Mm. Mm.
all something. So
Mm.
I realized the transmission of miracle season, right? It's a healing frequency. So you know how sometimes you can see things, but we don't know what's coming through those things. So it's
Yeah.
miracle is healing. It is a high vibration. It is a healing frequency. It vibrates at a life path or numerology number of 11, which is the wounded healer, which I am, right? I'm an 11 life path.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say when I channeled it in 2017, it came to me. I didn't sit down and write. I started to say it. It took a life of its own. And then you fast forward to 2024, I got the notice of what it really is and what it really means. So if you see it, you wear it, no matter where you are in the world, it's going to heal you in some way, somehow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it has legs of its own, a life of its own, and I can connect to it. I can talk to it like it's a frequency. Like
Mm. Mm.
so,
Mm. Mm.
it's a powerful message, but also it's a healing message to help people
Yeah. Yeah.
your miracles in your season.
Yeah, it's so interesting how you talked about like going through the dark night of the soul last year, and I feel like 20 the first 6 months of 2024 were that for me. It just felt like I would like go on evening walks with my fiance, and I'm like, are you spiking me with ayahuasca every day? Because I feel like I'm going through an ayahuasca ceremony every single day. Like it was just what God was asking of me and what I was being led to heal through and feel through and become was on the brink of excruciating, like most days. And, I remember being on Zoom with one of my mentors, and I'm like, Gio, I'm like, this ain't fun anymore. Like, I want to tap the fuck out of this. It's so intense. And he's like, think about all the times that you've gone through a dark night of the soul or like gone through something really challenging. Is there a part of you that's grateful for it on the other side? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, can you cultivate the gratitude for this hard season now? And him inviting me into that really let me feel into the duality of like, every single contraction, every single, dark night of the soul or season or chapter or whatever that feels hard. It's like, can we hold the duality, understanding that it's making us, And I think like leaders are built under pressure as long as we're not collapsing into the pressure. And I really see that as like such an epic quality of leaders of like going through it moment by moment, breath by breath, and realizing that it's purposeful, it's intentional. And now on the other side of it, I'm like, I'm so grateful that I went through that, but like, dang, that was a whole situation.
It's tough. It's challenging, and it's interesting because we're in this whole lunar eclipse of being in Pisces, right? So you're feeling all the feels, but the last 2 days, 6 in the morning, I got a client calling me crying about a relationship. Today, I had someone DM me about suicide. Like, so
Mm,
my
mm,
world, right? So I got to be able to deal with the fluff or the tough stuff by myself, for myself, to be able to hold space for someone else and not
totally.
collapse in their pressure or collapse in their chaos or their method or
Mm.
message where I can be great in any storm. Like, what's up? What we doing? What you need? Okay, do this. I need you to get on this app, go to the pause app, breath work, and
That's my boy.
you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, by the way, it's miracle season. Then come back and then let me know how you feel and then we go from there, right? That's how,
Mm,
because we have tools and we have things that within our bodies that we can use, breath work,
yeah.
to heal us and push the energy out. But we're
Mm,
still here in the breath of the mind going crazy, chaotic, because we're not in the breath of the soul where the heart is, and taking
yeah.
time and like receiving life instead of doing life.
Mm, mm,
I'm really grateful for you and what you have to offer to the world, and just like you said, all that contrast. I'm reading a new book called The Gap versus the Game.
Oh yeah, let's go. I love that
You
book. It's so
know, like that book is probably one of my favorite books. I've read so many books.
good.
They just put things in perspective. Like I get to come on here and be interviewed on your podcast. I get to talk about things that inspire me. I get to do this.
Yeah.
It's such a joy, it's such a privilege, it's so amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That
Yeah.
energy, that frequency
Yeah.
brings me more of that.
100%. 100%, dude. It's like the metaphor that I always have is one foot in appreciation, one foot in ambition. And if I'm a really ambitious person, you're a super ambitious person. But if we're chasing ambition and we're not in appreciation, the energy source of that ambition actually comes from a place of lack. And then we just get less and less and less of what we desire to experience. So it's like if we have if we're really anchored in appreciation, and it's like there's no end to the list of what we get to be appreciative of, like everything. It's like it doesn't end, and it doesn't end. And energetically, from a frequency point of view, it's not more grandiose energetically to be grateful for these big miracles versus like I'm so grateful that I have this bottle of freaking fresh water. Like energetically is the same thing. So it's like stacking. That allows any move we take in the name of ambition to be amplified because the energetic birthplace is just like so rich.
Yeah, and it's so right and so well. What you're explaining is actually what I went through these last 9 years of my life, being in the gap. I had all this success, but I could never receive it. I could never celebrate it. I was always like, when the next book, when the next TV show, when's the next deal, when's the next thing? And it's like I had all these things. I was like, I live in this nice place, but I can't even receive it. I'm just thinking about, oh, this is not happening, that happened. I didn't get this. It's like, bro, we're wrong. You're living your dream.
Yeah, man.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm in the gap.
Yeah.
So in the gap, you just fall deeper into the gap and you can't see no gain. Whereas like, look at everything you created. Look where you're at. Like I came to LA with $1,000 to my name. Me, one person.
That's wild.
Where's the gratitude? What are you thankful for?
Now you have $2,000 and you know two people.
Right.
It's been a crazy decade.
More gratitude. Greatness. Let's go. We're living. We're breathing. Get it together, young man. Get out of your ego and get into your soul and become someone. So.
Yeah. Dan Sullivan. Is that the author? Yeah. Man, Dan Sullivan's such a gangster. For those of you who don't know him or haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. It's The Gap and the Gang. We'll put it in the show notes of this episode so you can check it out. But yeah, it's like such a game changer. It's like being like wanting everything that you already have. Like there's something so beautiful about that.
Yeah, and just the authenticity and the intimacy of being so present with what you have. Like even in relationships and friendships, like just to take a pause and say, I love you. I really value your presence in my life.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for not judging me. Thank you for being honest. Yes. I love that. That right there just amplifies the frequency of that relationship. But if I'm like, oh, you didn't take out the trash. Oh, you didn't rub my back today. Or, oh, you told me you was going to get the groceries and you didn't get them. Like, you're just, hold on, slow down.
Yeah.
We're in the matrix about ego. Relax. What's going on? What's not happening? What about what is happening? Get to be ourselves on a podcast and talk about things that changed our life and also altered our life, right? So I'm really in this game phase of just life, and I think it's going to be this way for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man.
I get to coach and train you. You're a high level CEO. I have the privilege to be in your presence. You get to help me. I get to help you. We're serving a great purpose. Look at this. Then we get to pray together. Then we get to learn. I'm like, this is love. This is life.
Yeah.
No problems.
Yeah. So good. So good. It sounds like the whole Bachelorette experience was like a net positive for you, even though it was like a really challenging experience.
I got a buddy, a great friend of mine. He's like my brother, Derek Wright. He's actually no stylist. He said, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. You milked that show. You milked the hell out of that show. I did one show. I did several shows. Shouts out to ABC, but it changed my life because I told myself going in first. The intention was, and the question was, why did this come into my life?
Right.
He was already doing spiritual work, reading the books and doing the meditation and studying successful people, 5 a.m. Club, Robin Sharman, and Tony
Right.
Robbins. And then when I get on, I'm like, okay, I still was confused. I was lost because it was scary. I'd never been in that territory before. But I told myself, I'm going to be more than just a face with a name. I'm going to really make noise in a great way. And so I took advantage of all the advantages and it changed my life because it was bigger than just being on TV, right? Like, why am I here? And honestly, TV, that's why I discovered purpose.
Mm.
Right? And before we got on, maybe I did talk about, I don't know, I talked about the North Node in our charts. So I remember when I was on TV, being on TV, the platform is the fifth house, right? Which my North Node and two some astrologers out there.
What do you mean the platform's the North Node? What does that mean?
So your North Node is what you're here to do in this lifetime in your astrology chart.
Okay.
Fifth house is usually like the stage because fifth house represents the energy of Leo. So it's all
Okay.
about expression. That's the stage. So
Got
80
it.
is the stage that I was chosen to be on, right? My
Yeah.
birthday to express myself, be myself. However, because of the 11th house is in Virgo, my past life, South Node already had the world. I was a
Right.
hero of the world. So in my soul, I have the world. So I know how to be on stage and give to the audience. I don't have to create the audience. I just got to show up and speak to them. So now remember, that was part of my this lifetime energy. That's why my life is changing so much because I'm doing my North Node life in that space, right? Self expression is all about the individual. It's always been so hard for me to focus on myself. I just want to help everybody. But that's South
Got it. It's funny we're talking about astrology because I had the most intense astrology reading this morning and I haven't done
Node.
that in years. It was so wild, dude. Like it was so eye-opening. I need to re-listen to it like 9 times because it was just
I
like,
want to know, what did they break down?
oh, like he was basically like, you're a disruptor, like big time.
What's
Like
your
you
life
are
path number?
what? My life path number?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
How do you
don't?
know?
When's your
How do you
birthday?
know when my birthday? February 28th, 1989.
Okay, so let me stop there. I'm gonna just stop there. Stop there. People, I need you to listen really quick. This year. All right, so just break this. So I'm a numbers guy with astrology. You was talking about astrology. She's a Pisces, but all right, people. Anybody who has a 28 in their birthday, you said February 28th, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who has a 28 in their birthday, they're here to build wealth. If you look at the Rolex marketing, when they show the Rolex, what number they have on the dial? A 28. If you look
Oh.
Elon Musk, if you look up Bill Gates, when were they born? The 28th. Jessica Alba, when was she born? On the 28th. So
Tony
people,
Robbins, 28th.
right. So people who have 28 in their birthday, they're here to build wealth because 2 and 8 is a wealth number. 8 is abundance. So you're born in a snake year, right? So 89, right? So that's next year is going to be a massive like explosion year for you because this the energy is in your working in your favor because of the snake. We're in dragon year this year. I'm a dragon, so that's what's going on. So boom, if we do 2 and 8, right? 2 and 8 is 1, which is 10. So 1, then you got February's 2. 2 and 1 is 3. Oh, we have the same attitude number, right? So if you do 3 and 8, which is 11, what comes down to a 2 person year number, you will add that you will add the 3 plus the year you're born. So 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 plus 10 is 28. We take away 1 is 27. So 2 and 7 is 9. 9 and 3 is 12. Oh, you're life past 3. So you're here to
Mm.
express, you're here to create, you're here to express yourself. The 3 is all about communication, right? So the third letter in the alphabet is C.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So threes are usually like musicians, artists, actors, actresses, interior designers.
Mm.
Top of this is why you have the pause breathwork thing and everything else you have attached to you. Yeah, you're here to make money and express yourself.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's
Yeah,
why
I've
we
never
know.
I'm gonna figure out my North Node. I'm gonna text it to you. We're gonna figure this out. I want to figure out what it is. What do you think it is?
I don't know because it's so interesting. I don't know. I'm thinking some type of fire sign.
Mm. Mm.
Who knows? So you have a very interesting energetic field. Like even your eyes got miracle in it. Like you something with your eyes that come through that it's like sparkles. It's like
Mm,
you see souls, you see things that others can't see, but it's like a gift, but you don't know, but you know. You got a
hmm,
lot going on that's great. So you're
hmm,
definitely supposed to be seen, heard, and felt.
hmm.
You're supposed to be speaking your truth and getting to the money in some way.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I find all this stuff super interesting. Like when I was growing up and when I was in school, like I hated school. I hated conforming. I hated sitting down for 8 hours. Like I was real bad in school. And I always knew like there was this part of me that was here to disrupt things and to innovate and to build things. Like I just never cared about doing things that didn't matter, even at like a really, really, really young age. I'm like, this is a waste of time. Why are we doing this? Like we only have this one life. Like let's build something that actually is going to help people. That's actually going to matter. And it's just so interesting how that translated to the career that I'm in and the business that I've built. Like I mean, this show is called Can't Be Contained. Like I've never like being contained or conforming to things makes me feel so uncomfortable. I'm like, I just hate it so much. And yeah, I love being a disruptor. But what the interesting thing the astrologer says is he's like, you're a disruptor, and it's a really good thing that you have a certain level of likability. Because if you didn't have that certain like level of likability, he's like, people would fucking hate you because they actually don't want to be disrupted. Their ego doesn't. But because there's a certain level of likability, they're okay with you disrupting them because there's like a love or there's a connection. I was like, that's really interesting.
Yeah, you're supposed to be saying you got the charismatic aura. Like you're a three, your attitude number. We have the same number attitude. So it's like our
We got
attitude
attitude.
is all about you're the socialite. So you can change the energy of the room or you can bring the energy down. When you're
Mm.
good, you're great. When you're bad, it's not that it's bad, it's just different. Most people are like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, what's wrong? It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm having a different day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's and the thing I've been studying this for 10 plus years, and I used to think something was wrong with me because what I do know, the people that run the world, the billionaires, they have this information. Like they're making things off of transits that's happening in the sky. They're starting businesses on the 8th, 17th or 26th or 28th. They selling products with 8 vibration. Like it's deep, right? So when you start getting into like the root of life and the root of your soul and not the branch, because everybody wants the branch. Or what car you got, who you date, how many followers you got. No, what's in your soul? The people we look up to, they have something that's in their soul that they might not even know that's making them who they are. Of course,
Mm.
their ego, but
Yeah.
the soul was already here before you. So it just chose the body you're in. And
Yeah.
you amplify from your self expression or what you think, or what you've been around. So it's just a beautiful vehicle for people to learn themselves. You got human
Mhm.
design, astrology, numerology, Myers Briggs, this assessment. I mean, you name it. Like I'm all into all of it because if I'm training and coaching high end CEOs and entrepreneurs, they got money. They don't care about money. They know how to make money. But I gotta teach them how to understand themselves through their
Yeah.
persona, not their business, right?
Yeah.
Who are you on a soul level? What does your spiritual bank account look like? We know
Mm.
the material bank
Ooh.
account is great,
So
but
good.
spiritually, where you at?
Yeah.
Oh, you just lost 2 million. Okay, so money must be your god, and now you're all over the place. We
Yeah.
got
Totally.
it.
It's interesting. My parents were big into Tony Robbins when I was like quite young, and so I just remember listening to Tony Robbins tapes. We used to drive every single year from Vancouver, Canada, where I'm from, across Canada to Winnipeg because that's where my mom and dad were from. And so we would listen to Tony Robbins tapes like nonstop. It took us like 2 weeks to get there because we would like stop and camp and stuff, but my dad was just always listening to these tapes. And I remember being young and thinking to myself, this guy has a soul that's just intelligent. Like there's something about his soul. And then I went to like my first Tony Robbins UPW a couple years later. I think I was like maybe 13 or something. And I was just like seeing him on stage and I'm like, yes, he's this like big guy with like massive hands and a lot to say and like super fiery, but there's a frequency of his soul that is otherworldly, and I felt like that with certain beings on this planet where I look at them and I'm like, you're not what just meets the eye. Like that is, what did you call it? The branches, or like, it's like the personality, it's the ego, it's like the how we're dressed, it's the person, it's like the external whatever. But it's so clear to me that they've done the work to actually become more self-actualized, like allow themselves to unite themselves deeper with their soul, allow the essence of their soul to radiate out of their body, that's the energy that's healing, you know? And when I meet someone like that, I'm like, oh, it's so good, right? So it's like the most valuable thing that we could possibly do is unite our human with our soul and allow them to dance together, or else we're going to walk around this planet, we're going to pay bills and die, and we're going to kind of miss the point, you know? Like this world has so much to offer. There's so much beauty, there's so much healing, there's so much enlightenment, there's so much excitement, there's so much joy. But when we think all we are is our parts and our pieces and our limitations and our all the external crap, we kind of miss the point.
Then to realize the only point we're missing is ourselves.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything comes through your vessel. Our bodies are multi-dimensional technology. Every dollar you've made, every opportunity that's come your way, every relationship, every partnership has come through your vessel. Like when I forgot her name, someone on your team reached out. I was like, how did you
Canning?
how did you guys find me? Like, I'm always curious about that. Like, oh, we just saw you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Cause I already know energetically where I'm at in life. So I'm not just going to connect with people because like, oh yeah, we think it would be great. It's like energetically, there's a connection. There's a congruence, right? There's something that meets like, oh, what's this about? Because it's bigger than just this moment. Like, yeah, have a cup of tea. I think you would be great for our tea product or whatever it is. There's something beneath the tea that the energy is met. So I'm always, and that's part of my fifth house, right? Allowing life to happen instead of trying to control life. Get what I mean? And when 100%. I do that, my life takes off. Because everything I've been a part of that's humongous, hiking mountains, being on TV, I wasn't looking for it.
Yeah.
I was not looking for it. The things I'm looking for and trying to initiate don't go as far. For me.
It's so true. 100%. It's like when I let joy be my job every single day and I do the inner work and the vision work and the personal development to get myself into like a joyful experience every single day, it's like I can't miss all the beauty that's all around because it's just drawn to me. I'm like, there's so much beauty around. I don't even know what to pay attention to anymore. Right. And it's like, that's like the greatest soul curriculum that we can possibly have is just allowing ourselves to vibe. I tell my students, like, your vibration is your contribution. Like the greatest thing that we can contribute to this world is our vibration. Cause it's like, we all have medicine in our nervous systems. We all have medicine in like the signature of our souls. And like, we're meant to share that, you know, even like hanging with you is like the second we dropped in, I was like, I love you already. Like, you get it, you know? And it's like, it's awakening. Your energy is awakening something in me. And it's like, there's a remembrance there. And, you know, it's like, that's the greatest gift that we can give people.
Beautiful thing. It's so beautiful because it's so rich inside. It's so like, if people could feel what I feel when I meet people like yourself and people that's in that frequency and vibration, I know there's nothing we can't do in this. I know there's more to make, more to evolve to, and more to bring to people's eyes and ears and hearts. Understand why we are here. We're not here, like you said, just to pay bills and die. We're here to find out who am I? What am I? Why am I here? And how do I get to the next phase of my soul purpose, not my ego purpose? Right?
Yeah.
So it's just a beautiful journey to be in, and I'm fortunate and grateful to know, like, you know, all the information I do have, because that's the game. Because I'm grateful for those books I've read, because those books has become me, right? I integrated and embodied the information to push it out and to eat those for people to receive it, to be on this podcast. So I got to give thanks to all my ancestors, past lives, and all the authors, and even you, for showing up and bringing wisdom into my vibration. People don't know, like, when you're in someone's frequency, I can pick up on what's in a person's like subconscious and be speaking to them without even knowing I'm speaking to them. Yeah. And when I'm tuned in, tapped in, dialed in, I'm actually opening up things in them that they don't even know, to make them feel what they need to feel for their soul, so they can say, oh, I never looked at it.
Yeah.
When you said your vibration is your greatest contribution, that hit me so deep, because every day when I would wake up, I would say, I just want to add value to the world, so I'm going to work on my energy. That was always my intention. Work on my energy. And then when I was on TV and getting all these brand deals, I had this formula where I was like, I'm going to just work hard on myself, and I'm going to allow the universe to provide. And I saw it. I got out the way. And then boom, more deals, more opportunities, more people, all because the vessel was the intentionality to be
Mm.
where I need to be.
Mm. What's the future look like for you? It sounds like what I'm picking up on is like you have this like very clear soul mission, this very clear spiritual assignment, and it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like the way in which that flows through is almost through entertainment.
Yeah, and I think, I think it is, but since my recent reading, sidereal astrology, the sky, as you like to say, shouts out to Appen. Um, the more I focus on me and master this, the more TV entertainment stages are going to be presented to me that I got to walk into. You get what I'm saying?
Mm. Hmm.
Before I was so, yeah, I want to change the world. I already did that in my soul. So I got to change the world of me to talk to those souls on those stages I get to be, right? And so when I figured it out, I was like, oh, 2017, what was I doing? I was making it about me. But making it about me was helping everybody else because I felt so obligated to save everybody.
Mm.
I burdened my soul.
Mm.
But when I put me first, I grow my soul.
Mm.
So the oxymoron is that I'm so good at letting things go and sacrificing for others. Like, what do you need? What do you need? I can take care of you, whatever. That when I got to put the energy on myself, I'm like, oh man, like, yeah, what do you want to eat? What did you want to do today? Um, yeah, I think I want to just sit still. Oh, we're going to sit still too then. We want to know
Mm.
what you. The funniest thing is, I had a client tell me she's big on human design. She said you have a gate 45, which is all about community, gathering, and money. She said people who have gate 45s in your throat area, that's the CEO energy in your throat. So that's who you are. You're the landowner. So people trying to figure out what are you doing to be you. I
Mm.
kept looking at Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor. They said, no, no, no. What does Eric Bigger do?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of puts me in
100%.
peace. Like you're trying to study them, people trying to study you.
Mm.
They want your medicine, not their
100%.
medicine.
100%.
There's a new world. There's a new you. That's a new life. So the future for me is more value as far as impact, but just growing this vessel even more in a more authentic way, with integrity, with truth, and just with love. I think I'm here I got so many Akashic record readings, but my last one, she read my soul and she said, you already served your soul purpose.
Wow. Whew. I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, you're just really supposed to here to have fun. And she's like, your ancestors are so proud of you, but they want you to stop being so productive. That's South
Oh,
Node, Virgo.
interesting.
And you need
Okay.
to have fun. Go have fun. And that's been my challenge, right? How do I have fun? What does fun look like? Because I love working, but when work is not there, my nervous system is like, oh shit, okay.
Wait, so tell us, like, how are you integrating more fun and play into your life?
Also, every week now, for the last 2 months, I would say, either Sunday or Friday, whatever the calendar is. So I got two events this weekend. Um, I make sure I intentionally have fun. Like I just enjoy it. I don't think about. It's not that I don't think about work. Work is not priority.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not checking for nobody. I'm not trying to. I'm just whatever my play is. Whether I'm going to Laguna Beach, uh, going out for dinner, I'm just doing nothing. I'm gonna let this vessel have fun because when this vessel have fun, more funds come in.
Seriously. Seriously. Seriously.
So I know
100%.
when I'm in this energy and I'm just letting go. Hey, baby, what you want to do? You want to come over? Hey, let's have fun. Let's eat good. Whatever. Because I already know how to lock in. I know how to be
Yeah.
disciplined. I
Yeah.
know how to have structure. I'm
Mm-hmm.
so good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to be fifth house Pisces. I got to let go and let it flow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
100%.
it's just allowing the more that softening, right? Of letting that divine feminine come through and like let it be what it needs to be. Just
Play's
trust.
productive, dude. I have a sticker on my laptop that says play is productive. And so when I'm feeling a little bit too like structured in my mind and I'm getting too much in my like CEO archetype, I realize like, wait a sec. The best thing that I could do right now is put my wetsuit on, go for a surf, and just like hang out.
And the strongest discovery I've made in the past, I would say, year over time about the play part is that I make the most and the biggest things happen when I'm not productive and when I'm resting. And I always say, when we rest, we manifest.
Mm. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, when we rest, we manifest because the nervous system is relaxed. Of course, I want to bring more money and more opportunity. You're relaxed. You're not like when you're working so much, you can't manifest as much. Your
So
energy
true.
is given to the universe.
So
So
true.
because I did so much work in this lifetime, that's the thing the lady was telling me. Shout out to Daddy. She did my reading. She was like,
So good.
we gotta let the universe catch up to the work you put in. But she still, it's like going to the gym every day. It's like you gotta let your muscles develop, bro.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
them evolve. So
Mm-hmm.
learning how to just allow, let go, just relax. It's good. She's
Mm.
like, look, there's two paths that lead to one. It's like you can be easy, that's when you're in your heart, or it can be hard, that's when you're in your mind. So you
Yeah.
pick your poison. You know, you're good regardless. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like there's no but. Just chill out.
Yeah. Yeah. During my reading this morning, this astrologer, he was super cool. He basically was saying how my parents got a divorce when I was 4, and so much of my success has come from the desire to create an environment that no one can mess with, because at like such a young age my environment was like messed with so much, like getting a divorce and parents like whatever. And I found that to be so fascinating of like, what are the ways that that is actually manifesting in a beautiful, productive way, and like what are the ways in which it's manifesting in a way that's destructive, right? And I got to like really sit with that today. And it's like in work, I always know if I am trying to control my environment from a place of fear, it's like the cost of that is so freaking costly. First of all, my nervous system is jacked up. No matter who I talk to in my company, their nervous system is jacked up because there's just a transfer of energy going on. And then if their nervous system is jacked up, the clients, it's like the ripple effect of my nervous system not being regulated is so intense. And so just being mindful of like, okay, there's a part of me that desires to have an environment that feels safe. How can I do that in a way that is actually productive, and it actually has nothing to do with anything other than like what you've been saying, like getting into your body, getting into your soul, like reconnecting into this powerful place. Because when we're there, that need for safety is already satiated, it's already met. We don't need to go out into the external world and change things in order to have that met. Fascinating.
I discovered through a great friend of mine. Shouts out to Annabelle. It's that breath work is prayer for the body.
I love that.
And it's so interesting. I started doing like DMT record really deep 4 months ago. And I pray a lot. But that breath work is so much more powerful than my meditations. And sometimes it gets me more clear than a prayer can in some
Mm-hmm.
aspects. But it is prayer for the body, breath work. Like it takes me on a whole nother high where everything is just slowed down.
uh,
I just can see it. It's like I'm on planet.
yeah.
It's like it's intense.
Mm-hmm.
Out of this. So in terms like that's how people feel when they high. I was like, oh, it's like a false sense. Oh, that's why they keep trying to get that high again.
Totally.
I've never smoked weed in my life, right? So I don't know I've been drunk before, but it was like very a subtle high, but also like it was light, but it was
Mm.
heavy. It's like
Yeah,
just
100%.
locked in.
Yeah.
And so sure and you're so certain about life that
Getting high off our own supply.
yeah, your body. So it's a it's interesting how something so simple can really to change your life without you going outside of yourself to try to do something. Even like
Yeah,
medicine, they go, oh, what if Peru to do a retreat, which is great. Where there's a retreat in your backyard. You go get some
totally.
food, right? Just go out there, like
Totally. Yeah.
so.
It's all right there.
I'm just fortunate to have this information and this understanding that we don't need anything because we have everything. Everything is us. You, I, me, we.
Um,
Happen to that. It's the real medicine. How
yeah,
can
man.
someone have a conversation? I'm pretty sure you relate. Anyone listening, you're going through something very tumultuous or devastating, and you hear one speech, one TikTok or Instagram clip, one quote and it shifts your entire paradigm. I mean, that's what I love about Tony Robbins. He just shift your whole damn paradigm.
Yeah, within a minute.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you're right. I'm good, right? It was words, it was a video, someone's presence, was someone's energy, it was a hug someone gave you,
Mm.
it was some encouragement you needed, or someone just telling you they care about you. Someone really needed just a hug. Because I think a lot of people have this thing about they need money and they think money is going to change how they feel. And it's like, no, 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 no.
No.
The branch, there's a root that you're trying to cover up with money.
Yeah, exactly.
Thousand right now, it's not going to change things over time.
Yeah,
Maybe you're outside, but once that get old, it's like, man, what?
totally.
True, true,
Totally.
true.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Give us some of your daily practices or like some practices that you love that get you into that state of just like power and presence.
Well, the most important thing for me is prayer. I
Mm,
pray. My prayer, my podcast is Spiritual Fitness Podcast. So I tell people spirituality and fitness saved my life.
I love that. I love that.
If I didn't have those two, I don't know where I'd be. When I went through the worst, I go to prayer and I go in that gym and tap into my source of my church inside. So
Yeah.
prayer, movement. I said the gym, movement is medicine. Motion changes emotion. Fitness, right? And then, last but not least, breath work. If
Yeah.
if, if it was a week to live, and they would say, what would three things about your day to day that you would have to do or keep? It would be prayer, fitness, and breath.
I love that. I honestly feel like mine's the same.
Now you gotta understand, you don't even know like what we dropped into, what I dropped into. I prayed before I got on. I know
Mm,
I'm getting visions that's coming through. I'm getting downloads. I'm watching you. I'm like, oh, I already know what time it is. So I've done this so many times that I understand the spiritual realm so much that
yeah.
I can see like the power of prayer and how it comes through my vessel when I'm speaking to people.
Mm.
For a moment, I don't even think you was in your body. You were just like going. Like you was, it looked like you was on a mic at a concert. I'm in the background. I can't. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm in the work of your breath, just doing the breath work in
Mm,
your body without you being present in your body. It's just like something took over and you're just there. And you
mm, mm, mm.
yeah, whoa, hey, yeah.
Hey,
You
what's
know what I mean? It's just so natural. It's effortless. It's supernatural. It's the miracle coming through because it's more than you that's coming through, right? So
yeah.
it's I just love this information and this understanding. And I used to feel odd about it because I think people didn't understand it. And,
Mm.
oh yeah, let's just eat, he prays, and like, yeah, I'm more deeper than that. Like I
Yeah.
get all the way deep blue sea, right?
Yeah, man.
And when people talking, they can say something, I can get a vision that come like over their shoulders. Like, oh, have you thought about that?
Yeah.
And
Yes. So good. The better it gets, the better it gets. The cool thing is this stuff doesn't end. And there's just an abundance of miracles in every single moment. And the more that we can receive, the more that we can allow ourselves to put on that lens of life is a freaking miracle, the more we get blessed with it. It's pretty amazing.
constant activation. That's what I tell people. Don't get it twisted. This is constant activation. You got to do the work every day. You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Life is great. No, no, no. You're gonna get rocked with something you're not even expecting.
Yeah.
So,
100%. 100%. Dude, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. It's been so great connecting one to one. I'm so excited for us to just be friends now in this life. This feels fun.
I love it. This is written. It's already written. You didn't know. I didn't know with our souls, man.
Where can we find you? Where can we connect with you? What's the best place to work with you?
Hey, listen, just go to Instagram at Eric Bigger, EricBigger. Hit the link tree if you want to get some Miracle Season merch, if you want to sign up for one-on-one coaching. But what I like to tell people, just go to my social media, just connect with me, just build rapport with my energy. Like, I don't want to sell you anything. I want you to be invested, inspired in the energy of what I bring. See what you like. And if it resonates, stick around, let's talk, DM me, and but yeah, that's where you can find me. And my email is it's miracleseason@gmail.com. Check out my podcast, Spiritual Fitness Podcast, weekly episodes on all the things spirituality, fitness, health, and well being,
So
holistic
good.
things, all the things. But I'm just here to be a great light and to raise the frequency of the universe. And I want people to know that they have the truth, they have the love, they have the joy, and they have the God and goddesses within themselves to be what they need to be.
Mm,
You have the tick.
so good, Eric. Thank you so much, dude. This is so good. Yeah. Thank you all so much for checking out this week's episode of the Can't Be Contained podcast. I love your faces, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Can't be contained. Drive on with it.